As above, so below. Stars are gridlocked. We have a grid below. This is why when you want to go live on your own and be self-sustainable, you go live off the grid, okay? So the stars rotate on the firmament, and the master code or vibration that they rotate to is the Schumann resonance, which is the vibratory frequency that is wind, and wind equals time, because wind is a chariot for the sun and the moon, and the sun and the moon's circulation is how we calculate time. So therefore, frequency equals time. Let me briefly show you what I mean. Okay, so using cymatics, that was ohm, right? And ohm just happens to be our resonant frequency for Earth. So ohm is the sound, is the vibration that is the chariot for the sun and the moon. Now, any logical, rational brain is probably thinking right now, can you move things like that with sound? Well, have you ever placed your like an object on a speaker and the speaker was able to knock that um, thing off of it? Or you had something like you had your phone on the edge of something and your phone starts to vibrate and it just falls off. All right. I have a better example. Let me show you. So what you just witnessed was sound being the force that was moving the object and acting in the same way that wind does. Again, think like longitude, latitude, longitude, longitudinal waves. They used to have this game a while ago, and it was like a Uncle Fester game from the Addams Family, and you would like go and put your hands on like these two like poles, like steel poles, and the object of the game was to hold on for as long as you can, because these poles will vibrate so fast, like that it would start to shake your whole body. That was the force caused by vibration. And so that came from a pole. So now think of the poles that we have, like the North Pole, and think of Polaris that's gridlocked at the North Pole, and how that master sound at that nodal point rotates the stars around it. That's why you see the same constellations all the time. Let me give you an example of what I mean. You see, the stars are gridlocked, but the luminary disk moves, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, those move, and depending on their latitude point, which is their degree, in the proximity to us, they have certain effects on us. That's why, depending on where you are, your natal chart locationally changes, and these planets end up in a different house system. So your birth time and your location is the access point where those stars are, and where the squares and the sextiles, like those tensions, that's going to create you in your human design, right? So the way that these stars move, the way that these not move, but the way that these stars are gridlocked, and the way that these luminary discs move, the constellations inside of the constellations, is creates a system that brings in new birth, controls the energy emotion, aka emotions, sets up they have to be at a certain degree for an eclipse to happen. Okay, so Gabrielle Henriette states in Heaven and Earth that it can readily be observed that during these manifestations, meaning the eclipses, certain zones of the vault, meaning the firmament or the expanse, right, are simultaneously aspected by other satellites. And I'll just give you two of them because it's kind of lengthy. But she says the 28th of Sagittarius and the 21st of Virgo and the 2nd of Aquarius. Yes, and the 2nd of Aquarius for that last part. So these luminary discs have to be set up on the grid in a certain way for the light and shadow movements of the solar eclipse to happen. So the way that these solar eclipses are set up, it's like a reset in a way, right? I made a video after the last solar eclipse, and a lot of people were just feeling like in a way like amnesia, women saying that their cycle like reset. Well, she was right about one thing. During the April 8th solar eclipse, Pluto is going to be at the edge of the 2nd degree of Aquarius. And all the other numbers add up, but just with different luminary disk and different signs. Anyway, I'm gonna stop right there for today's video. But next time we'll definitely have to talk about how the sun could have a component to it that's like a lens that projects light onto us. If you like this video, you want to see more content like this, make sure you like, share, follow. Till next time, y'all. Peace. Man, I almost forgot one thing. Let me show you this clip before I go. Now remember the cymatics of Om that I showed you. Now let me show you a star up close. It's vibrating to the same frequency. Om.